Welcome to Tuesday, everyone. Another day in the craziness of our shenanigans of the world. Yeah, man, there is some crazy unfoldings in this world. So we take a deep breath and we step into our day. So, what is today? Well, we got the moon. The moon is in Taurus, and Venus is going to be going retrograde on Sunday. The moon is going to be full on Saturday evening. And this is where it's not an average week. You know, what else is new? It's like it's never an average week. What is an average? I don't think we know what an average week is. That's we don't know what that is. But we're coming into like the moon is in Taurus. And the moon loves to be in Taurus, right? It is beautiful. And it is a really fabulous energy when the moon is in Taurus because it's all lushy and yummy and gooey. So full full cup of coffee knocked to the floor to start my day. Oh. Well, I'm gonna fill up my cup of coffee because I do have my Starbucks here. And I would rather drink my coffee out of a cup than out of a um, paper cup. Not saying I won't drink out of a paper cup, but I do have, and this is one of my new mugs. So I got one of my new mugs. So it's whoopee. I don't want to spell my thing. So Christmas all around. Cute little mug. So what is today? Today? Well, I think with that moon, because the moon is going to be snuggling up to Uranus, and you know, it's not nothing new that I mean the moon does this every month, but it's getting close to that exact square. And the exact square of Uranus and Saturn. So that exact square is coming up. And being an exact square with the moon there, this is coming into our internal. So remember, the moon rules our internal. So if you see my daily readings right now, where I do the sun, the moon is our internal core, how we're feeling, how we show up, and how we let people see us is totally different than what we're feeling. So that internal core is coming in on how we're feeling. And this is where I feel like there is and Venus is still on top of Pluto. Now, Venus on top of Pluto, it hasn't happened. Here's another one. Hasn't happened in 248 years. This hasn't happened. So it's been a while. It's not saying that Venus hasn't retrograded or been with Pluto, but whoopsie, but to be on top of Pluto for so long, and she's going to be sitting there with him for 18 days, 19 days. Yeah. Wow. Wow. So she's there. So that has to do with our values. So what does that have to do with the moon? Well, the moon gets us to look at things a little bit deeper. And Uranus is kind of shaking things up. I mean, that's what he has. Although Saturn has had the upper hand this year with these squares. I feel like this is coming in where um, there is something more coming in, something more that for us to try and understand. And with Mercury going into Capricorn, which he's saying, hallelujah, I'm the fuck out of Sag, because Sag is just like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? And Mercury is like, yeah, I like the information, but can you slow it down? Can you stop flitting so much? I need to figure this out, and I need to figure out all these pieces, and it's very difficult. Well, you're all over the place. And now he's in Capricorn. So Capricorn is like, okay, he's looking at things, he's seeing, it's like he's looking down the road, he's entered in, he's looking down the hallway. So he's looking down the hallway and he goes, okay, Pluto's still here. All right, dude, how you doing, man? Oh, you got somebody there. Who's that hot chick with you? Oh, it's Venus. What's going on? Wow, this is putting things to piece, things that we have had maybe out of sorts, or things that may not have been working so well, whether it's relationships or money or our spiritual selves. So this is getting us to really look at the types of parts that we want to start putting together. And it's, a mirror of ourselves. I mean, this is also the other part. What is that mirror self? And with Capricorn, because Capricorn deals with business and financials. So this is where you're going to be hearing a lot within the news. You're going to hear things about business. You're going to be hearing of inflation and uh government having issues on money, and people are unemployed. These are the things you're going to hear. All right. So Pluto's going to let you know what's happening. He's also going to talk about issues that have to do with relationships. And maybe you might be hearing about breakups or people breaking up. So this is what Pluto's going to relay out there, right? He's relaying this out into the world. This is you taking that and saying, okay, this is mine. This is mine. No, 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 this isn't mine. You might even take things that are yours, but you're done with, because for some reason you're still trying to patch things up, or you're still trying to put it together. So let's take financials, because financials is going to be a big one. So maybe there are issues within your financial world, maybe a lost job, maybe decisions that were made that you decided you were going in a different direction. So this is a time to correlate and sit and look at the directions that you want to go into without judgment. This is a time when we really start to come in and we can do some grounding. And Mercury rules the North Node, and we are going to be having a full moon in Gemini on at 27 degrees. The nodes are at 0 degrees. So this is extreme energies. At the beginning and end of a sign, it's always very intense. So the North Node is, with Mercury saying there, are you getting ready to know your truth? Do you know your truth? Do you know your path? Do you understand what is happening and what you need to still learn, or what you have learned, or what you no longer need to work on? So there's these questions that are coming in because the story is starting to change on us. You thought you might have had it all together and you had all the boxes ticked. Of course. But we are coming in with that Pluto pulling us, where he was pulling us in and swallowing us, where this is where it's like, okay, with that Venus there, it's starting to get us into a deeper look, into a deeper analysis. And mixing with the full moon, the square to Uranus and Taurus, this is the last lunation that we're going to be having to deal with the nodes in Gemini, and how our story can change. What direction can we be in? Since Mercury was in Sag, it felt like sort of scattered, and we're kind of all over the place and trying to get the information and feeling unsure. And we are heading into a energy that is very vast and very transformational. And when we get into the vastness and the transformational energy, we're going to be start entering not so much into Aquarius. It's still there, the Aquarius energy. I mean, Saturn's going to be there for another 2 years. It's looking at a vastness of our spirituality and really coming into a foundation of what our true and our truth of our values are. We're going to be finding where banding together or coming together with community is going to be very vital for our own survival as selves, as bringing in for our own mental well-being and spiritual well-being. Having a basis of spirituality is going to be a very strong foundation. I heard an analogy the other day, and I was listening as I'm scrolling through something, and he was talking about idols, the false idols that have come and gone, come and gone. And many times these false idols are like, they're gold and they're silver and they're beautiful, but the bottom is made of clay. So the bottom doesn't have any strength. It doesn't have any durability. And this is where many are going and looking at the silver. Well, it's over here, and this is where we need to go. But they're not looking at where they need to really bring in that truth and that base. And this is where a part of the fight comes in. Part of our true sovereignty comes in. And I'm not necessarily saying a physical fight that you're going to go out there and punch somebody out. No. But it is that one where we stand by example, where we stand in our sovereignty to show people this is truly where I stand. This is truly where I'm going. And when we are coming forth in this week, it is also looking like I am no longer falling for this illusion. I'm no longer falling for this. This is not where I want to go. And I've talked to a few of people who have Elixir. I've talked to quite a few of them, and where some of them are now getting certain symptoms and stuff. Others have been fine, but many of them have said what is happening is not right. What is going on is not right, and they're not going to continue on with what the illusion is saying and what the push is coming in for them. They're seeing that illusion that's coming in, and this is where also with this full moon that's going to be happening in Gemini is bringing us to look at these parts of ourselves and these intensities and stories that are there, and getting us to really cutting out the illusions or the illusional ones. And with Taurus right now, it is for us to stay strong in who we are and our values, and know that we are wanting to create a more harmonious and loving energy. And where yesterday I also did a meditation, and I can't, was it Tom? Is his name Tom? Tom. Anyway, fabulous guy. He's on YouTube, and he does meditations on Monday, and um he was doing a meditation with Merlin, and it was so fabulous because he worked with Merlin in the cyclone and cleansing and clearing our energy bodies and bringing in his dragons, and it was just such a wonderful meditation. And I found when I was doing the meditation, it really, I could feel my heart chakra again, and I could feel that pulsation and the layers that um to come down from my heart chakra. This is where I feel the intensity of the frequencies coming forth to really bring forth greatness. And when I look into, and those who are coming into peak into 2022, this is really, a part of our journey. And when we look into that energies of what is the transformation that's coming in, wow, these beautiful flow of higher intensities. I keep on saying the word intensities, but they're very beautiful. But for us, as we are for us as mortal humans at times, because we are walking in earth walking the 3D dimensional world, we find to come into that world, and even, I mean, Abraham Hicks have talked about it for years, and they call it the vortex, coming into that energy of a higher frequency. It does take time to get used to. the frequencies are coming in more intensely for us to bring in those changes and to bring in more of the peace and the peace unto the earth. And over the next several weeks, with a lot of flow of the propaganda that is going to be constantly inundated upon people, that we're finding that this, and it's almost like a breath. It's almost like a wind, and I can see like an angel blowing this breath upon us, as every time they try and do a propaganda, things go crazy and go all over the place. So they're trying to figure out a new one, and then trying to figure out a new one. It's where there was a and I can't remember the speaker who comes out and speaks, that little redhead or whatever, for Biden, where these kids had to eat outside in the cold, and she says, "Oh, that's great for them, and it's great." And it was like fucking cold outside, and they're grade 1. Like, no, it's not. That's not fine. What you are doing is not fine. And parents said, "No, my kid is not eating outside in the cold." And of course, you got to look at it. And I think it was in Seattle. So Seattle, I mean, once it gets cold and it drops below 10, I mean, it's very humid, that humid cold. So very bitter. And they're thinking, well, they can breathe. They don't have to wear their masks. Well, if they're inside eating, they're not going to be wearing their fucking masks anyways. So these are things that people are starting to see, and they're calling them out. No, this is unacceptable. We are not allowing this. And it's coming to the forefront. And a lot of times when things start coming, it's like cleaning out a room. And as we're cleaning out the room, there's always some gunk, or there's some grossness that you didn't know was there. I remember one time when we were cleaning out, and I'm like, what the hell is smelling in here? And the cat brought in a mouse, and she put it underneath the couch. And we didn't know it was there because she hid it. And until I moved I'm cleaning out all there's this dead mouse underneath. It was just so fucking gross. Um, this is where things like that, you clean out, and it's gross, but it has to be done, right? So grossness has to be cleaned out. This is where we're seeing things happening in our world, and the grossness is coming out. That's part of where, when Venus was in Scorpio, she was scraping the bottom, but sometimes scraping the bottom takes a while for it to float to the top. There's parts that maybe want to suppress it, or things that we don't want to see. And then she went into Sagittarius and trying to move things along, and now she's in going to be retrograding in Capricorn, which is really getting us into our depths of our, okay, what do we need to rebuild? What kind of structures do you need to rebuild in your life? And Pluto's there too, and he's going to be throwing in a few curveballs, shall we say, on what are the dynamics in your life. What are, you want to go in this direction, but over here is holding you back. What is that that's holding you back? Or you want to create more abundance, or you want to create more money, but you're not sure how. So something over here is holding you back, whether it's education, or whether it is you're needing to research something even more and more in depth on doing it. So there is this this energy that's coming forth, that is getting us to really look at things in a grand way. And we're going to be doing this until March. And that Venus and retro, not Venus, but that Saturn square is really coming into, okay, what are our structures? What are the people that we want to be with, within Aquarius and Taurus? So we're really looking at a rebuilding and a resurgence of spirituality and community. We're looking into that. It's not so much the individual and the individuality. It's all about the community and how we can build this community to be stronger. This means that it's not where you try to manipulate somebody to do something against their will. You still honor them. You still honor them, whether they want to or not want to do something. You honor them for where they are. And that's going to be part of the community that has to be built. And this is all going into 2022. And I keep telling people, how I see it is, Fantasia meets Alice in Wonderland. And there's so many different, when you get, the metaphors that you can go into in each of those stories on how for us to come into our spiritual selves, how for us to come into a foundation, to bring in a creativeness, and especially when those nodes change, because the south node goes into Scorpio. When the south node goes into Scorpio, again, that's the underbelly. That's going into the depths and the seediness of who we are. So it is the tail end of the dragon. The mouth of the dragon is like whatever's coming in, what do we want to create, is in Taurus. So it is that earth, it is that foundations of what we want within our earth, what we want to make secure. And in the Scorpio part, it's like, what is okay, we want to make this secure, but there's going to be a lot of things that are going to come out into the forefront that aren't exactly what we want to look at. Because remember, what comes out the tail, it's always shit. So it's all this stuff that we need to rediscover upon our own selves and who we are as human beings, as within our own sexuality. And it's going to have a lot to do with corporations and joint finances and money. So we're going to see a debacle of government and taxes and misfinancing, and a lot of boundaries being overcrossed during this time. And the North Node wants to teach us how to create that new foundation, but Uranus is there, so it could be in whatever direction. So this is really fundamental, especially even today and yesterday and for the rest of this week, for us to really look at how we as individuals want to create a foundation that is strong for us to look at a place where, in the reading today, the star card, which is after the tarot, is reversed again. And in reversal, it means ask for guidance. Reach out and ask if you are needing guidance. Don't try and do it alone, because this is about building community. This is about setting into a direction of creating something new. And trying to do it on your own, it's not going to work. Just saying. This isn't a time to do things on your own. This is a time to come together and not be afraid, because the propaganda is out there, and belief systems are out there. Not to be afraid and go into the internal, your true self, the internal self, and use your internal self as a guidance. If you start going into the, yeah, I'm going to do this, this is the way we're going to do it, you're going to find that there's going to be a lot of blocks, because you are not truly listening to your own intuition. You're not truly listening to what the truth is that's coming forth for you. And that's very much with when you have, the North Node at 0 degrees Gemini, and we're building up to a full moon on the galactic point. So bringing in that galactic energy of downloads, of information, of creating, of bringing in new resources for ourselves. So much. It is exciting. It's beautiful. This is where a place where we can create something that can be transformational. And that's all part of what we've been doing. And this is all going into and flowing into our new 2022 year, which is going to be a total year of spirituality, because one of the goddesses that are coming through, and because she was, she came through on the degrees that where Neptune is coming through, is Our Lady of Guadalupe, which has to do with the native people and with with poverty, with people, the poor, and bringing forth a spiritual alignment with ourselves and our God. So this is a real push towards creating a huge change within ourselves. So we got to stand and be grounded um, in how we go forward within our lives. It's crazy. It's crazy. So mini moon readings are, I'm going to be doing your mini moon readings. So if I'll be coming to people's pockets in your pocket, I'll be popping in your pocket. So if you want to order one, it's $25 and you'll receive it this week. And so we have the mini readings this week for $25. If you are wanting to book, if you don't want to go on the, what do you call it? What do you call it? On the auction, if you don't want to bid on the auction, I have all my workshops for $80 and all my readings right now are $75. And the peak into 2022 is this coming Sunday. So if you want to join me this coming Sunday, please let me know. Please e-transfer me to confirm your spot. So e-transfer me or PayPal. Let me know. I got some people down and some people are saying, yeah, I'm coming, but I haven't heard back from them. So it's like, okay. I don't like chasing people down. That is my worst thing the one thing I don't like. I love doing my spiritual work. I love doing what I'm doing. I don't like chasing people for payments. That's just, I don't think anybody does. I don't know who does, but that is something for me is very, I just, I don't like it. That's all I got to say. I don't like it. So I had the sale on yesterday for $25 for the peak into 2022. I'll honor it. Today will be the last day. Today will be the last day. If you're not paying, if people don't pay me today, then it'll be $50 tomorrow. So inflation happens overnight. I need to know if I'm paid up for everything from before. Oh, okay. I think you are. I think you are, Alexi. So, pretty sure. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't I no. No, I don't need any more money. I don't need any extra money from you than if yeah, you're fine. So, I lost track during the summer. I lost track of a lot of things during the summer too. So, but we're even Steven, baby. Um, so this is creating the abundance. So yes, I'll be posting some things. I'll be posting some things up on the Facebook page. So if you're wanting to bid, definitely do that. I'm going to put up the fairy workshop again, and the fairy workshop has, and we're going to be working with a book called Be a Goddess by Francisca de Grandes. So if you are wanting to deal with it, if you're wanting to work with this energy with the fairies, it's an absolutely beautiful. And all my classes are live. They are recorded, but my classes aren't pre-recorded. So that's another thing. That's I do all my classes live. So if you are interested in any of my classes, or you're not sure what classes, right now they're $80. So if you are like, okay, I want to do the karmic one and I want to do a couple others, know that right now until the end of December, all my workshops are $80 because as of January 1st, the fairy workshop goes up to $444. Ooh, that's inflation. Hyperinflation. So that's what the regular price is for that class. And so we have that. We have the chakra class, which is a 7-week course that I'm going to be doing. So we have the chakra class that I do, and I really get into a lot of details about the chakras. So it's not just, understanding the chakras, but there's a lot of work that we do for each week of the chakras. So we have that class that's going to be coming in, karmic release, journey club, tarot class, mediumship, intuitive development, a spiritual cleansing workshop. So we have quite a few different workshops that I'm going to be doing throughout the year. Some are going to be starting in January. We got Angel Alchemy. We got the female arcana that I will be working with. So the female archangels. And that is a cool one. I got to bring them more into what I'm doing as well. And what else do we have? Oh, that's about all I can think of. I know I teach about 12 different classes. So if anybody's interested, so definitely let me know. And I put your name down. And if you're unsure of a class, then anytime a workshop comes in, I get a hold of you and I say, hey, here's the workshop. Are you interested? And also know that they are recorded. So if you can't make every single one of them, they are still recorded and you can watch the recording of it. So, my loves, have a fabulous day. Stay warm. It is freaking freezing here today in Calgary. I think it's like minus 20 or something stupid. Anything minus 10 is stupid. So, have a blessed day, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everyone, and we will talk to you tomorrow, if not before. Yeah. Bye bye.